Hello, I'm Matt.
I'm Sonia.
And welcome to a special episode of Liar Life the Show. I say special because it's my birthday episode. Sound effects hopefully added in post. So, what's going to be a little bit different about this episode? We're going to talk about our little trip we took for my birthday. And I'm actually going to show off some of the things that I bought for myself, that Sonia bought for me, and just that I've gotten around my birthday. Some of it's not actually birthday. Like, I didn't get it for my birthday, but because it was near it, around it, whatever, I'm still showing it off here.
We always have, like, a month for your birthday, though. Because when Persona 5 came out, it came out, like, the second week of April. So, yeah.
Yeah, I got Persona 5 for my birthday back when that released. But to be fair, there's a couple reasons. One is I probably would have got it myself. Two, I wanted to play when it launched, as it was.
Yeah,
so.
I got you the Steelbook. I wanted to give you the big one, but it sold out quick.
That big one is expensive. I would have liked to get that for Shin Megami Tensei 5, but that was also quite expensive. So, a lot of the focus of this episode, from our trip and my haul, it is related to one of my favorite pastimes, and that is game collecting. And with video game collecting, what I like to do is I like to, when we are able to, go around to thrift stores, flea markets, things of that nature to look for whatever they might have, see if there's any potential treasure type finds, you know? We've actually had finds like that before. We found Twilight Princess for the Nintendo GameCube. We found that inside of a flea market once, and we got a good steal, especially considering now, with people gouging prices from older games, that's going for over $100 now.
Yeah, but you found a sealed Wii one, too, and that one's going up in
but that
price.
was at a garage sale. That wasn't at a flea market.
Same thing, man.
So, what we tried to do is we tried to record inside these flea markets. We were going to do an episode like that where we were basically, we stopped at flea market A and this is what we found here, show off some of the stuff. And what's airing right now, hopefully over this, is showing that we did stop at least one flea market, but we stopped at multiple, and we were not able to actually film in all of them. Not only that, but if I'm being quite honest, I didn't find anything at any of these flea markets. There was some cool stuff, though, as you will see here. For example, there were like Pokemon cards at one of them that we went to, as well as a couple PS3 games, things like that. It should be airing on the screen right now. Where I did get stuff this from this trip was at a local game store, which, again, wanted to record in there. Wasn't able to get the footage I wanted to, but I did get a couple things there, and we basically that was the gist of the trip as it was. Sonia had went to the mall. She had wanted to go pick up a couple things. That video went up on Wednesday, so make sure you guys watch that. Yeah, but we spent like 2 or 3 days there. And then we came back to our house, and here we are now. I'm going to go ahead and probably show off some of the stuff that I got. Anything you want to say before I get going on this? Because, sorry to interrupt, but this is going to be a very me-centric episode, so just fair warning, I guess, on that.
The only thing I was going to add is that the one thrift store we went to was more of a hobby store, because there was like a lot of lawns, a lot of yarn and like sewing things and stuff like that. But they had some statues of like bees, bears, and I saw some Halloween fabric, and I almost picked some up. We did not record in there though, because the guy, we didn't want to piss him off because he already looked like he was in a bad mood.
And that's kind of where I'm coming back to with this real quick, is the ideas I had, like, this big game hunting adventure, which I wanted to do, but full credit to Sonia, I just don't have the balls to record in a lot of these places myself.
It's hard in some, like me, I just get lucky and I try to hide as best I can.
Like, I'm not sure what they can say to you for recording in retail stores. I do know that in the case of these flea markets, thrift stores, at least one of them was in some guy's shed, so I'm pretty sure he wouldn't want us to record on his property. Not that I found much there, but there was this actually cool, and if I find a photo of it, I'll show it here, because obviously I didn't record, this cool jukebox that this guy had. They was selling for only like $100, something around there.
100, 150, something like that.
Yeah, and he said that it worked perfectly fine. That sometimes the arm would get a little messed up, but for the price, I thought it was really cool. And honestly, I'd probably have got it if we had the room for something like that. But without further ado, if you're here, you clicked on the video, the title probably says that video game haul, birthday haul, whatever. And if you did click on the video, please make sure to subscribe. That helps us out a lot. Mr. Talk with my hands.
I do too, so.
So without further ado, let's get started on this birthday haul. And the first thing that I'm going to show off has been staring at you in the face this whole time. Is this lovely Demon Slayer shirt. Maybe I'll get some B-roll a little bit closer up of the shirt.
Well, it says Demon Slayer on it too.
That has the 4 main characters from the series on it. Sonya happened to find this inside of a Target. Mm-hmm. And, yeah. So I like the shirt. It fits okay. I'm usually kind of sketchy with clothes because of personal reasons. I don't like other people buying clothes for me. And I think next thing I'm going to jump into, because I want to try to save the majority of the gaming stuff for the tail end here, is these 2 mangas. One is Way of the House Husband, and the other one is Rent a Girlfriend. Now, I know that's like probably weeb shit, especially Rent a Girlfriend, but the concepts in both of them, one is about an ex-Yakuza member who basically leaves the Yakuza and becomes a house husband. And the other is about a guy that basically rents a girlfriend for a while and things escalate from there, etc. It's, I guess, sort of like the harem type anime / manga. But the concepts of both of those, Yakuza and renting people as a girlfriend or whatever, are very, I guess, Japanese concepts. Obviously, Yakuza is exclusive there, and you can't really rent people here because I think that's prostitution.
Yeah.
But
well, I heard the house husband was good, but like it can get dark or sad or something like that. Maybe I'm remembering it wrong.
I don't know if that's house husband. What I've heard about that one in particular is more the difference between the manga and the anime, with the manga being considerably better than what people think the anime is.
That usually happens a lot, though.
But you're not here for anime and manga. You're probably here for some good old-fashioned games. And let me show you. I guess I'll dig into my sack here first.
Your sack?
At first, and for the record, I wanted to record some footage for some of these games. Unfortunately, time got away from me. So, especially for some of the more obscure titles, I'll try to show some screenshots, I guess, in this. But first off, we have Top Gun on the NES. Now, for any of those familiar with this game, you will know that not always generally considered one of the better games out there. For me personally, I think it's not that bad. I like, flight simulation, things like that as it is. And I personally have a lot of memories of this game when I was a kid, and I'm surprised I didn't own it already.
I mean, it was like $3, so why not?
Yeah, I was going to say, I got it for a steal. The tag, what you can see of it here, says $2.99. Not a bad price, if I do say so myself. I don't know what it goes for online. I haven't checked. Don't care to check. Next up, what do we have here?
Yeah, are you having difficulties?
Enchanted Arms for the Xbox 360. This particular edition, as you can see, has box with it.
Yeah, that's a nice box.
Beautiful box. No, this particular edition is supposed to have a manga that actually came with it that I think serves kind of like a prelude to the game itself. But this version that I bought here didn't have it. But as
luck would have it.
I guess luck would have it. I don't know. I used to have this game on my old 360, and my old Xbox 360 got the Red Ring of Death. And when it did, I traded in all my Xbox 360 games, including this one, Enchanted Arms. But for some reason, I kept the manga from it. So even though this one doesn't have the manga with it, I actually do, I guess, have the complete set like that. So
Have you looked what the complete set sells for? I mean, that one's
I
like $19. But...
don't think it's that much because I don't think this is one of the more popular games on the 360.
It could go up there though.
I have no idea. Again, like I haven't looked online for any of these to compare prices. For me, Xbox 360 I thought had a lot of underrated Japanese role-playing games. So I've been trying to collect as many of them as possible, especially ones I haven't finished or played through, which includes this. I barely even started it before I got a Red Ring of Death. So yeah, I'm glad to have that. Another find from this same game store. I don't say it's necessarily fine, just a game I'm surprised I didn't already own, and that is Tetrasphere. Now, this game, I used to rent it as a kid. I never owned it. And as a kid, it confused the hell out of me. I didn't understand the concept at all.
I still don't when you play it.
Well, to watch it, it's probably... I mean, you'd have to pay close attention, I guess, maybe to figure out the actual gameplay elements of it. Mm-hmm. But it's not that hard to play. It's easy to understand. And once I understood it, it became extremely addicting. Like, I might have played it for 2 hours straight or so. So it's actually a really good game. I think a very underrated game for the Nintendo 64. Alright, so back to the sack while I'm here. We have...
Oh yeah, I forgot about that one.
Rune Factory 5. I have tried the Rune Factory games before through demos, things like that. I'm not sure if this one had a demo, but I saw a lot of gameplay video and stuff from it, and I thought it would be something I'd be into.
It's just an RPG, right?
It is, but it also has like farming elements, and I think there's some visual novel type elements to it too. I don't know if visual novel's the right word, but I'm sure whoever's watching probably gets what I mean. But this particular thing pisses me off because I bought this... Whoops. Hopefully I didn't just fuck the audio. I bought this from GameStop new, and I don't know if I could really show what it came in too well. Maybe I'll have to do...
Well, you could show, like, the fucking bag of it.
Yeah.
It might be a little blurry, that's all.
It was supposed to be new, but it's clearly been repackaged, and they charge new price for it. I got it at a discount, but the discount is because of coupons. That's not important. The point is that I'm kind of pissed that it isn't actually new and it really isn't sealed, so...
Yeah, but every time you get new games at GameStop, they do shit like that.
And to be clear, I bought it online because my local GameStop didn't have it. Otherwise, I probably would have said something about that. Some people don't mind, but GameStop does that a lot, where they sell you basically used new products, meaning it hasn't actually been played, but you're getting like the display copy, which has been open. Well, I think that's bullshit, personally, but...
Yeah, that's what I just said. They don't really have new.
Another thing I got, I'm part of, like, Sony Rewards type thing. It's something I haven't actually used all that much. But it actually seemed to pay off this month. This wouldn't be calling this a birthday thing would be wrong because it's not. But I did happen to get Sakura Wars here for the PS4. Whoop! So Sakura Wars is, I mean, if you haven't been able to tell by a lot of stuff, I'm into collecting Japanese role-playing games. And again, it's another Japanese role-playing game. It again has like the visual novel type elements, which I think seems to be popular these days. But I've heard nothing but good things about this particular game, and I guess also part of a series which, despite what I said about being a fan of these types of games, I knew nothing about, honestly. But I am looking forward to trying it eventually down the road, you know, once I clear out this massive backlog I've been digging for myself. So... let's move on to some of my more fun things, I guess. I like to get Japanese import games a lot because I have a couple of Japanese consoles, one of which is the Nintendo 64, and I recently, for a decent price, got this game, which is Doraemon and the Three Fairies, I believe. If I said that wrong, I'll have the name down below. It's a platformer game that very much looks similar to Mario 64 or Mystical Ninja, that is based on the long-running Doraemon anime series from Japan. From the little bit of time I've spent with it, It is a very fun game. I got it to begin with because I liked the way it looked in videos and whatnot. I'm not sure how popular the game itself was in Japan, but as far as import games, I actually think it's pretty good. It's I think I would say one of the better platformers on the N64, but definitely a hidden gem, I would say. And speaking of hidden gems, for those that are familiar with American baseball, you might know that in America we have the MLB The Show series of baseball video games. And I didn't know until we went to Japan that Japan actually has their own counterpart to MLB The Show that features the Japanese Baseball League. I can't remember what the hell it's called right now. But I have, for the PS Vita, Pro Yaku Spirits 2014, which is a baseball game, as I've been saying, based on the Japanese Baseball Association there. And it plays very differently to the MLB games from America. But it still plays very close to that simulation type gameplay. It is a lot of fun. It's very difficult compared to MLB also. I don't know if part of that's just language barrier, trying to understand how to play. But I've had a lot of fun with it so far. Now, something that ended up being a Japanese import but was kind of a fuck up on my part is Exist Archive. It is a role-playing game for the PS Vita. America actually has a physical version of this game, and that's what I thought I was getting when I ordered this. Not so. It was the Japanese version, as it turns out. And that's fine. I played the game for a little bit. It's alright. Hard to understand what I'm doing, though, because it is in Japanese. But I still like having it. I like having it in the collection. And it really wasn't all that expensive. I think it was maybe $10 at most. There is one more thing. I'm going to hold this. Do you mind grabbing that? It might be a little heavy.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
And, of course, we're facing it the wrong way. But
does it really matter in this case?
I think it's more obvious what it is. So, my sweet wife really spoiled me on this one. And let me get a PlayStation 5 for my birthday.
Because he put in his PS4. That was the deal.
Yeah, I traded in my PS4 to GameStop. And, yeah, there, got that. Didn't have to go through the scalpers, as a lot of people do. So, yeah, I was able to get it. Unfortunately, I mean, yeah, I didn't pay the scalpers or anything, but unfortunately GameStop only does the bundles, which are a little more expensive than just getting it normally. You do get a lot of good stuff for it, including the games that I got here. One that came with this bundle is Gran Turismo 7. Obviously, a very popular racing series. Everybody knows it. Not my cup of tea. It came with the bundle, and I know that it also has had a lot of controversy lately because of its monetization practices. Yeah, bullshit, basically. For the little bit I played, it's not bad. It's a racing game. I'm probably doing it a disservice because I'm not generally into simulation racing games. With that said, I have no idea how to even progress in it now. I'm kind of been doing the same things over and over again, so not sure how much more mileage I'll personally get out of it.
Crap. And there's this one.
Yep, Horizon Forbidden West, which I would say is probably one of the games I really wanted to play on the PS5. I was actually going to hold off on even playing it because of my backlog, but then I was thinking I'm pretty much done with Elden Ring right now, so why not?
Have you started it yet?
I put it in before I left to install everything, so... but I do plan to play that, and I don't have anything to say about it, besides it's a sequel to Horizon Zero Dawn. I couldn't even remember the fucking original name.
Well, you really like that one. You said you
I did.
100%ed it or something?
Before the DLC, yeah, 100% of the game. Got all the trophies, all that stuff. So I am looking forward to it. I think it will be a lot of fun. And somebody from Discord also mentioned how it was the first game they saw as really next gen on the PS5, so we'll see how that is. But with all that said, that is my massive game.
Well, you
haul.
forgot to say you got a headset too. That was part of the bundle.
Oh yeah, I got a headset with it as well. I'm sure it's somewhere, but it's not all that important. It's a headset.
Oh, that's pretty nice looking, I think.
Yeah. Well, you're pretty nice looking, too.
No. Moving on.
Anyway, so, yeah, I know that was a little different and probably a little bit all over the place. I do hope you guys enjoyed seeing my game haul here. If you like those game haul type of videos, let me know. Maybe we'll see about doing other ones in the future. Anything you want to say before we go?
I got a Skull Pop socket from FYE.
Okay, yeah. So,
I forgot.
unrelated to this video, Sonya, as I mentioned earlier, did the mall video earlier this week on her own show. And she got a pop socket from FYE she forgot to show off. And before I go, I do want to mention that we were going to do the episode, the dating stories. That was my mistake because I didn't quite meter out when I didn't time everything right, basically. I didn't schedule it right. But that we will get to that next week. So stay tuned. We will talk about some bad dating stories next week. And until next time, I guess that's it for this episode of Our Life Show. So see you later.